Hello. How's it going?
Hey.
We're back.
Is Oklahoma War, director, writer, producer, all of that, or of Crawler Died 2 sequel?
And I'm Nicole Alonzo, and I play Tank, returning as Tank for Crawler Died 2. Welcome to our live. What's up, Jeremy?
Isn't me or the tempo of the song just jump up a notch? I guess you. You're probably drinking.
How many shots have you had? You said Tana, but I don't see it. Is Tana here?
I didn't say Tana. I said
no, Jeremy said Tana.
Oh.
What's up, Corey? How's it going? All right. Shall we jump in?
Yeah. Let's see. None yet. Yeah, so we're going to announce the 2 winner.
Yeah, week 2.
Right?
Yes.
And we have the new behind-the-scenes video, and we're going to have another one.
Yes.
Tomorrow. So Nicole, I think you were in control of all the picks and the winners and all that kind of stuff.
I am, yeah. So we can start with the winner of week 2.
Tana.
What's up? Hey, Johnny. All right, well, good timing because the week 2 winner is Johnny Baines. You won the week 2 challenge, so we are going to make you into a GIF, just like we made for the movie characters, and you will be on our exclusive playing cards that are limited edition. We just loved your mask and your weapon and your creativity, so you have won the challenge. Good job, Johnny Baines. We love you very much. Thank you for everyone that submitted. I also did want to share a runner-up and then a few of the other people that submitted just because there were so many cool ones that I thought I would share with you guys. So our runner-up is Therese Olson. I love her makeup and her hair and everything, so we thought she had a great photograph. We had a hard time deciding. It was between her and Johnny. So she is our runner-up, and we are still going to send her something special.
Yeah.
So thank you,
and
Therese.
Thank you to everybody that submitted. There were a lot of really cool photographs.
We also got, I was going to show just a couple of them. So we got Corey here with his dog, which I love. That is so
I love
cute.
That one too.
So that was one of the ones we loved. And then we got Donna's husband that submitted. I thought his was really cool. I like the blood and everything.
Yeah.
And then Tana's friend, I can't recall his name at the moment, but we thought his were really cool too. Some really creative photos came in. So.
And the irony is there's actually somebody who is holding a hammer in our movie. So that's kind of cool.
So, yay. Bianca was my photographer. Well, she did a great job.
So John, you're here. We're going to write you because we're going to have you do a certain type of pose. But I also know that you do the comic books and everything. So we'll talk to you because I kind of think we might be able to use, if you want, we'll talk to you. I think the name of your character might be something that could swing back around and kind of help you. But we would have to have, a legal document that says that we're allowed to use, the name and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we'll talk to you about it. But I love the mask and everything. I think it's just awesome. We're actually really excited about it.
I'm excited to make a GIF out of your character.
Yeah.
Hey, Carissa. Hey, Steve. What's going on?
And thanks to everybody that submitted. I mean, it's where it always feels bad. You wish you had 14 assistants, and it was like, wow, we could have made GIFs out of all these people. It was very creative. But it does, like I said, it does take about 6 or 7 hours just to make one.
Yeah, I actually am working on one now for a new character named Chance that we're going to be introducing. And I had intended to get it out before the live tonight, but I've been having some issues with it. So it's going to be tomorrow. If I get it done fast enough, maybe tonight to the backers, but it's probably going to be tomorrow. So
probably going to be tomorrow.
But I'm excited. It's a really cool one. But yeah, they take a while to finish. So yes, Carissa, yours is going to be awesome. I can't wait to make yours.
So one thing, just to throw in here before we go much further, it was very hard to translate. We have a bunch of fans in Germany, and they wrote. We also have some. I'm not going to bring it up yet because I got to make sure where she's from. But anyway, The reason that we're always wearing sweaters or long sleeve shirts is because we're in the studio with the hard drives, and the hard drives love cool temperature, so we have to keep it as cool as possible.
Yeah, we've had some griping from many people about our icebox that we live in, but let's be real, we would keep it like this even if hard drives weren't here because we just like being in cold weather. So.
Well, there was a fan group from Germany, and it was they submitted like 20 questions, and literally 7 of them were like,
"Why are you
it
guys
must be cold there all the
sweaters?"
time in Oklahoma," and I was like, "No, it's not, but it is where we are in the studio." And that's why. So anyway,
I was gonna look up how to say cold in German.
Yeah.
Kalt.
Right. And so tomorrow, let's see, we have the new behind the scenes video that's up right now.
Yeah, I have a teaser video to show really quick. It is censored because only backers get to see the full video, but this week's is really cool. It features our actress Lara Barauna and Lori blowing fire, and also Brett being a stunt person. So here's the teaser video for it.
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
that worked. Yeah.
All right, so that was the teaser video.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say about the video is I always, being the director, I always go like, I hope people understand that this isn't color corrected or edited together. But
it is behind the scenes.
I know. But I think anybody who edits anything together can see how it will piece together and look really, really cool. Really excited about that, because that is one of the things that I'm really happy about the sequel, in that we were able to learn so much on the first movie on how to use more practical special effects, as in one of the things that we're really excited about. And we'll kind of go to, again, we're going to talk about, again, every time that we're on, one thing that was a little more difficult or very exciting to film, or that we're excited to share about, yada, yada. I think yesterday we spoke about the under the floor scene with Nicole and how it was hard to shoot that in the dirt tunnel. This, I would say so far on Crawl or Die 2, and one of the scenes that I'm really excited about is we used water. So we had to build a set that could contain water, and we're having to build it again for another scene that nobody on the film knows about except for Matt Crabtree and I. So I don't know how you actors felt about the water. I know you guys didn't enjoy it all that much. And it was difficult being an independent filmmaker because I was not able to afford, they're usually almost $30,000 to order an encasement that goes around the camera to protect it, to go underwater if water gets on it. Couldn't afford that. So I had to be really careful. I did have to get in the water with the only camera that I had to film the movie on. So, you just got to take those chances. I do remember I was nervous as hell about getting in there with the camera, but then I went. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, so you had to take the chance. And so the water wasn't too glad, but yeah. The water was pretty bad for me. It was freezing by the time I got in it. I mean, I was shivering. I was having a hard time holding the camera straight, and I know it began to smell because
we used I don't think it gives too much away, but we ended up using the blood cannon in there for something.
Right.
And so the blood cannon was filled with like fake blood and chocolate syrup and a bunch of like foam pieces and stuff. So that all ruminating in that water.
Plus, remember,
nasty.
Everybody was filled. I mean, everybody's covered in oil,
sweat,
and
Vaseline, baby oil.
Yeah, And
So all that got mixed up in there.
and we had to film 2 different weekends. So the first weekend wasn't that bad, but then it just sat in there and just kind of like fermented for the.
It was gross.
For the second weekend of shooting, and so I mean,
I'm pretty sure we made some penicillin in there or something.
Oh yeah, it was fun. But I would say that was difficult. It wasn't the most physically difficult, and it probably wasn't the hardest on the camera, which I'll talk about that later on another event we go live. Yeah, 10. It was stanky, but it was one of those moments when you go, man, if one of the actors accidentally
gets a mouthful,
does something and shoves a wave of water towards me, camera's done. I mean, it's done. So I had to work with the actors and be like, you need to fall down without falling down. So it was a little scary. It was 20 pounds sniper flashlight ballooning kill. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was difficult, but it looked good. I mean, the scene looks absolutely awesome. It looks really good. Those are the things you got to do when you're independent. So I would say that was probably my most scary moment, other than when Lori almost burnt her face off. But yeah, that sounds a lot sexier than it probably was.
It was not sexy.
No.
20-pound sniper rifle, flashlight, ballooning kilt.
Oh, I thought those comments were going across the screen.
I can put them up on the screen.
So yeah,
I can show them.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's perfect.
My shoes still haven't recovered.
My shoes still haven't recovered. Yeah. Well, again, that was another thing. Tank's iconic boots, they don't make them anymore. And she ironically had to search somebody after the first movie, a boot repair person. They were actually really good. Yeah,
I need to go back. My boots are falling apart.
But again, because we were shooting out a sequence, we're having to wait till like the very last day for you to actually show those boots go in the water because
we don't want them to get ruined.
We didn't want to risk not having them.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, those are the things you got to deal with and work with. But that was a very scary moment for me. I don't know how the water was for you.
Oh, well, I think some people have heard my water experience. I don't know that scary is the right word for it. It was more like hilarious, but scary. As far as scary,
you haven't done yours yet.
I don't. Yeah, I've got some stunts coming up that I think will be challenging. But okay, I know my scariest time. We filmed this scene where I had to climb up onto a ladder that was hanging over a room, and it was pretty high in the air. What do you say that is?
It's about 35 feet.
About 35 feet in the air. And I was told that it was secure. There was 3 different dudes that swung around on it and told, I could tell it was secure. But because it wasn't solid, like it moved around. Every time I moved, it would swing. I just mentally couldn't get past that. And so I was pretty terrified being up there because every time I'd have to move or like react to something in the scene, that ladder would start swinging and it was a 30-foot drop. So I was like, I was freaking out, but it was fine. It was totally safe, but I would say that's the most scared that I was during the whole filming.
You know what's funny about that is that for me to get those shots, like I had to lay down on the ground right underneath it. and I was worried about you, but it never entered my mind that if something did fall,
I'd have landed right on you and the camera. So that'd have been great.
But again, it is what it is.
It's for the art.
It was safe and it worked out well.
It was.
The man that we have build our sets, Brett, he was on the first film and he's on this one. And, I trust him 1,000%.
Yes.
He does a really good job. Okay. So what else is there? So tomorrow, one thing that we did on the last campaign that we're going to start doing on this one is where we go through and we number all the backers. We say a special thank you on all our social media to the backers by their name, like number 1, number 2, number 3, to try to get the train rolling. And then we start asking for like backer number 93. Who's going to be backer 93? And we just keep doing that. Once we get backer 93, then we go to backer 94. And we just keep doing it. And it was actually kind of fun. We didn't want to do that from the very beginning because we knew that we'd get tired of doing it. But the last time, it worked really well with us doing that. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I know, I do. I love this mug. But yeah, it's kind of cool. We just keep the train rolling down the track, and then whoever becomes the next backer, we celebrate, and then we keep moving on. And then on the last 3 or 4 days, we'll just be on here 24 hours a day, going who's going to be backer number 100, and that's the way we roll down that path.
We also are going to start listing, similar to the backers, we're going to start naming each site that has supported and posted about us on Twitter and everything, and shouting them out personally.
Yes.
And giving them special thank yous and stuff. So all that will be going on, probably majority of it on Twitter, but we will post on Facebook as well. So yeah, anyone that wants to join us, that's awesome. Like any of the actors that are in it, if you want to join us, thanking each backer.
Come up there?
They only come up if I add them, so you gotta. If you want, I can add each one.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
I like the idea of ordering the backers. Yeah.
Yeah,
it sort of
is
creates
really cool.
like a hype for people to be like, oh, this many people have backed it already. Let me jump in here. So it seemed to work pretty well the last couple of campaigns we did. We have a good amount of backers right now, so it'll be fun to.
It will, and one of the reasons that thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
It'll be cool. I'll bring the rum. We get a little narcotic in one shot for each new backer.
Yeah.
Hey, I won't put that down. Yeah, because one thing that I've noticed is that since we did the last campaign, I would say about 30%, which happens, some of the magazines went out of business. Some of the bloggers went out of business.
We had a lot of them that did, sadly.
Yeah,
like, I think there was over like
30-35%.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, that's keeping with the times. There's a lot of new ones that are finding out about us. Like today, there were 3. There's a hashtag horror fam, FAM. There's a huge amount of followers that follow that hashtag, and they all know each other. And they just jumped on board with us today, and they're asking people to go watch it and then come to check out our Kickstarter campaign and all that. And then plus, we have, Carissa, in one sense, it's sad, but what I was able to do, which always takes time, since when you're independent, you have to be your own PR person, is I tracked down on all those sites either the owner of it or the writer that wrote about the article, and they've all gone on, to most of them larger sites that are paying them. It makes sense. Yeah,
there was
right?
actually one that I found yesterday. He had written about us a really nice article, and his name's Mark Miller. And I was going through the mailing list, and his bounced, and so I was like, I wonder what he's doing. And he actually started his own whole site.
Yeah.
And he had written an article about us like a couple years ago that I had missed it. So I wrote him and I was like, I'm sorry that I missed this, but holy shit, congratulations.
And Mark Miller was somebody I grew up with. Ain't It Cool News being my dream site to be on. And he wrote about us on Ain't It Cool News. It was one of my most treasured moments in my career, because I had grown up going to that site at least 3 times every single day. And it was my man, if I could ever get on here. And then I was on there, and then Mark left there. And Mark and I were actually throwing around the idea of him helping me on the comic book at that time. And, it just came down to, I just didn't have enough money. And, I just felt that me asking him to do it for free, because he's a very accomplished comic book writer and artist and writer. And I just didn't feel it was appropriate to ask him. I'm not saying that he would or would not have done it, but I love that guy, and I love what he's trying to do right now. I mean, he's got a YouTube channel out, and he started his own site, and he's got his comic books out, Pirouette, and we're going to highlight all those people. I think it's important. And DVD Infatuation is another one. He wrote us, I think, yesterday, and said that he's been a long-time supporter of us. He posted about a movie way back when it came out, and I think he tweeted about it at least once every week or every other week since then. Yeah. Like, he's always been really cool on board. So. And so then we have Crash, and then his partner, Johnny Numb. They've been writing about us constantly. And so it's beginning to pick up that momentum, and we went, well, it's about time. Here about probably when we're down to like the last 11 days or 10 days, we'll start counting down the people, but also highlighting all the site and bloggers that are pushing us out there to try to give them something back also.
How cool, and that's good to hear. I'm happy for them finding success against the odds. Yeah, I agree. It's always good to see when they keep going, no matter what.
And then, one thing I'm going to go over kind of quickly is I got a lot of response. I got a lot of emails about me talking about producers. The one thing that a lot of people didn't understand when I was saying it was this, that traditionally when you're independent, the director is the producer also. Like, not only do you have to make the movie and everything, you have to go out and find the money. And what I was saying is that a lot of times you'll have a friend who's like, I've always wanted to be the producer, on a movie. And before you give them that credit, you need to sit down and be like, okay, well, you understand what a producer's role is. Like, that means instead of me out here hawking for money, do you have money connections? And if they don't, then you might not want to give them producer credits. You might want to give them like executive producer credits. Because again, like I said, let's say your film blew up. The producer is the one that's going to get some awards and everything because you gave them that moniker. So just be careful. I've noticed that a lot of independent films, they're just easy to throw out these monikers without knowing exactly what they're kind of giving away. And I go, dude, if you're the filmmaker and you're the one raising the money and you're the one paying for the bills to keep the lights on and paying for the edit system and all that, you're the producer. Don't give that away. That's not to say that I haven't met a lot of great people that are wanting to be producers. Just be careful with it. So the other thing I was going to go over real quickly, because that seemed to, we generated a lot of emails about that last night, is I want to talk real quick about a thing called QC reports. And QC reports, I mean, you'll have to do a version of it even if you go to any online streaming service. They're going to request it. And I'm not going to get into it because, seriously, it's really something as easy as you punching in QC reports and you're going to find 5,000 articles. But like an example, any streaming service in the world that takes you at the very least, most projects are going to contain 3 separate sets of audio tracks, a stereo mix, which is full 2-channel, a stereo M&E track, which is 2-channel mix of stereo music and effects. And the dialogue is removed for the purpose of international dubbing. And then not all of them, but a lot of them ask for, anyway, a 5.1 mix, which is 6 channels total that you'll be sending them. And the things that they'll be watching for when you have that, and either you send it off for a QC report or they do, they're watching for stuff like pops.
What does QC report stand for?
Quality control.
They don't know.
Quality control. So they listen for clicks, which means that you didn't take the time to, if you pull in a sound effect and you don't put an in and out on each side of every single audio clip, you'll have like this little pop, pop, pop that goes through the movie. And every time that pop happens on that QC report, it'll say at this minute there was a pop or there was a click. Or if anything goes over the sound level of 0, that's a problem.
0 decibels, right?
Right, 0 decibels. And so you have to make sure, which is why people do a sound mix. How do you get the sound in there, an explosion, and somebody yelling all on top of each other? Well, one's going to have to be lowered, one's going to have to be lowered more, until combined, it doesn't go over 0. And so that's on the sound thing. On the video side, there's just 1,000 things they'll look for. For example, a thing called drop frames, they'll look for that, chromization, if your whites are out of balance, if your blacks are out of balance. And what I run into a lot is freeze frames. And I actually use freeze frames in the movie. Think back on the first movie where she turns and yells crawl and it stops for a minute. Well, that got flagged because they don't know. They go, oh, did they mess up? Why is the movie stopping right here? And so I had to write back a written out response on why that was intentional and that was a creative thing. And then they pass it. But so anyway, it's something that you at least want to be aware of. You're never, you know, what I want to make sure of that I thought about last night is this isn't me telling you, don't go out there and throw it all together and go, if I put it out there, can I get picked up? You absolutely can. But the more things that you do on your own that check marks those, especially clicks and pops, man, they hate that. But let's say you miss some of it and you can't afford or have the time or the knowledge to do a 5.1 mix, don't worry about it that much. And I would say if it's a first time deal, take the deal. And you're probably not going to make a dime because they're going to have to pay to have all that done. But it's still, hey, man, it's a jungle out there. And if you can get out there and get your name the next time around, you'll learn more and do it from there. I'm just trying to throw out some stuff that maybe if you spend a little more time on, it will help you get a leg up when you submit it. Because even film festivals aren't going to be happy if they get something and there's clicks and pops everywhere and your whites are out of balance and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, but I will tell you this: there is no professional, none, not one streaming service, not one distributor, not one TV channel. There's nobody in the world that puts it out there on a grand scale that will not make you do a QC report. What they might do is go, you don't know how to do that, we'll do it, but then you're going to get charged, well, an ass load of money for them to do it. So, you know, might be a way to save yourself a little bit of time and also get a leg up. You might look a little more professional and they'd be like, oh, wow, man, the sound is really great on this. Anyway, so that's my little little throw out there help on today. I'm sure I'll get 20 emails about that.
The more you know.
Right. But again, I always say this. Here's the craziest part. Once I bring these up, all you got to do is punch in on the internet and just go, what are QC reports?
What are they required
for
blah, blah, blah.
filmmakers? And what, you know, and then punch in what do QC reports look for on independent films? And believe me, you're going to learn real quick. That's how I learned. Let's see. Oh, and then a lot of people were asking this about Nicole from LA because they know something you all probably don't know, but she worked for, I would say he's probably one of the top 3 agents in all of Hollywood right now.
Yes, he has grown exponentially since I worked for him. But I did work for an agent. I don't really want to name him. I don't need people like going bugging him.
But
I did work for a large agent.
And this is for the actors because we had a bunch of actors writing and asking our questions. So I thought, well, you could throw
knowledge
out
is power. That's
something
correct.
a little bit
yeah,
for the actors.
So I was his assistant. Quite a bit working there, and I actually am happy to have been there as an actor because I got to sort of see how that side of the industry works and what agents look for and what they don't like and everything like that. So just I thought I could share a couple tips.
Case in point, if you watched Army of the Dead, whether you liked it or not, he definitely repped a bunch of people in that movie. Right? Like he's huge.
Yeah.
He's huge.
He repped he repped Black Panther before he passed away, but he reps quite a few people. And
they talk.
So a few of the main things that I would say that from my experience working there, some of the important things that you could know if you were wanting to find an agent, especially in Hollywood. I'm not quite sure if it works the same places like here, like in Tulsa. I know there are agents here. I don't know, but I would imagine they sort of look for the same thing. One of the first things that you need is a really good headshot because that is how you get your foot in the door. Like if you don't have a name and you're just starting out, especially if your resume is nil, like if you haven't worked on anything, you better have a damn good headshot. Do not skimp on your headshot.
Yeah, you paid a lot for your headshots.
Yeah,
but they were really good.
Do not go to Joe Bob in his freaking garage and take snapshots and think that's going to do you any good. Not if you want a quality agent. I'm sure there are less quality agents that would take that, but if you're wanting a really good agent, I would say start there, because literally we would get, at the time, their internet submissions weren't quite a thing yet, so we would get mail of stacks of headshots, and he would literally hand it to me and the other assistant and say, go through these and pick one each, and we would get 100. So if your headshot doesn't stand out and if it doesn't look professional and it's not quality, you're probably not even going to get seen at all by the agent. And then the second thing I would say is know your craft, practice your craft, take it seriously. He actually had a qualification if he took you on that you had to be in acting class the entire time that you were represented by him. And if you weren't, you would be in deep shit. If you found out that you weren't taking your classes, he would be very upset. And he did have teachers and stuff that he would recommend if you didn't know of teachers. But even if you aren't living in LA and you haven't been doing that, know your craft and be prepared, because then the third thing that I'm going to tell you is if you're not prepared, you're probably going to get screwed again, because he would have people that he would actually call in. So he liked their headshot. He thought that they took it seriously. Everything else checked out. So he'd bring them in, and, actors, they would have all these monologues prepared that they had practiced for hours and hours, and he would literally hand them a piece of paper, and the lines would be like, I really like chocolate syrup in my milk. It's the best. And that's their audition. And he would hand it to them, and he would give them 10 minutes, and he would say, okay, now read. And they would have to find a way to read that and make it interesting and make it engaging with no time to prepare, other than if you are an actor that takes your craft seriously and practices many different styles and things that you can do to be prepared to be put on the spot. And you'd be amazed, because you would think, well, that's impossible, but it's so not, because the actors that would come in that you could tell were really good, they could say that line and have you in tears, have you laughing, have you shocked, all with 10 minutes preparation. And he would switch it up every time. It would sometimes be an oatmeal commercial. Sometimes it would be something silly like, I'm going to go for a walk to the park. And the ones that took it seriously and that practiced were incredible. It'd be like, if you think about it, imagine Gary Oldman saying that line. I guarantee you, or any of the greats, imagine them saying that line. You can put so much tone behind things that you say without saying any specific words. And so that would be the three main tips. Just headshots, really take your craft seriously and practice, and then be prepared, because you never know what you're going to walk in on. And it was funny sometimes to watch the people that were shocked and taken aback, and you could just tell they were scrambling. And I felt bad for them, because I would hate to be in that position and be unprepared. And also the headshots thing, I can't tell you how important that is. We got this one girl, and I guess I've always remembered her headshot, so you can't say it was that bad. But we got this one girl that sent a headshot wearing a shirt with 2 eggs over her tits. And that was her headshot. And I mean, we didn't pick that one, but I guess I did remember it. But that would be my 3 main tips. And also have a thick skin, but I think that goes without saying in this industry. You can't be sensitive, because...
Well, I don't even know what the hell you're meaning. Nate? Gary Coleman?
Gary Oldman. Did I say? Oh, I know what he's saying. You shut up, Nate.
Did she say Gary Coleman?
No, the other night you said that I was thought Gary Oldman was hot, and he goes, "Did you just say Gary Coleman?"
Oh,
I was shut up. No. Anyway, I'm happy to answer any other questions that you might have about stuff like that, but that would be my 3 main tips.
It was actually amazing. When I had met her, to find out that she had worked with this gentleman, and I happen to love him. Now, he's known for being very aggressive, I guess kind of like me, except for the people that know me. Like
That's back
people are
to,
a little afraid of them.
my thick skin comment.
yeah.
I lasted a year there.
I love him.
And
I'd
then
love to sit down and have lunch with him. I think he and I get along really well.
Oh, he's great. I'll say this. He's the exact agent that you want as an actor.
Oh, absolutely.
Because none of his actors ever felt that he was scary. And he would fight tooth and nail for you as your agent. He would be on that phone ripping people a new asshole if they try to screw you over. He's very, very good agent. I would highly recommend him. Now, to work for him was hard, but of course it was. I was also young. I think if I worked for him now, I'd be a little tougher about it. But I was kind of a baby because I was young, and I was just like, I did nothing but waitress before that. So I didn't even know what I was walking into. But it's a very high-stress job. So if you're not prepared for that kind of thing, you can be a little daunting, but I'm highly grateful for the experience. And I'm actually still pretty good friends with him. And I thank him all the time for toughening me up and teaching me the ways. But yeah.
And I think it kind of works also with independent. I mean, I can tell that on every project I work with, I can always just kind of tell who are the people that take it seriously, who are the people that are diving into it 100%, versus the people who are like, I mean, this was fun. This is what I want to do for my whole life. I just thought it'd be cool to be on set. And I'm not putting that down. I can use that too. But I do know this. If you start wanting to step up the ladder, even as a filmmaker, you need to walk in with your best foot forward and be like, I take this seriously. That's kind of why I'm going over some of the things. If you make these things, go the extra mile, because it's going to show those people, oh, hey, let's take a chance on this, and because they take it seriously. And I would say the same thing for actors, especially after hearing the year-long stories that she had. It just makes total sense.
And it's a strange thing to say, because if you said this to a doctor or to a veterinarian or something, when you say come prepared, there is a way to do that. It's very technical, and you have to know these things and go to school for this long and do these things. But because we're in a career that's sort of fluid, there's not really one specific correct way to do it.
Right.
Really, all you can do is study as much as you can, ingest as much as you can, and practice as much as you can to be prepared. Because that's really all you can do. You can't ever be like perfectly prepared in this industry, because you never know. That's why you get rejection all the time, because your perfect prepared for this person isn't right, but for this person it's perfect. So, but it's worth it. For when you do reach that point and you meet that person and it clicks.
I love that mountain. I like getting knocked down the mountain, climbing back up the mountain. I actually enjoy it. I don't know what I'd do if I ever got up there. I'd probably be like, well, this is boring.
You'd take a nosedive right off the top.
I would. I know I
would. I think I'd sit back for at least a year and just be like, I made it. Now I can enjoy doing all these projects I want to do. But yeah, so if anybody wanted to write me questions, I'm happy to answer. I won't share his name because I would prefer to keep that private. I don't need him being bombarded with questions and them going, but Nicole said, because that's just not. Yeah. No, he's a busy man, so.
Yes.
But I'm happy to share experiences and advice if you are interested.
Yes.
Agreed.
Can we read an actor this?
As to whether this is an artistic outlet they are driven to do, or if this is something that, Yeah,
it's, it's fairly simple. I mean, it literally, I can usually tell it. I have been wrong at times, but you can usually tell it first 10 minutes into filming. I mean, it's usually pretty simple. And that's not me putting down the people that are just there to have a good time, or it's not that, like, oh, cool, it's an independent film, I'll get to be in something. And you're like, hey, cool. But what it does approach is like, oh, I've got to do some pickup scenes. And you go, who do I want? Who do I enjoy trying to make this scene work with? And then it does affect on who you want to work with on the next project. And,
from the outside, as somebody that's an actor, so I'm not the one like at the top of the heap in charge of everyone, it's just always blown my mind being around people like that, because in my opinion, being on set is the best time of my whole entire life, and I don't want to leave, and I don't want it to end. So when you're around other people that kind of are just like, are we done yet? Or can I go home? I'm always like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
actually, you know,
what?
it's funny. I had some other directors talking to me and asked me if I got offended by that. And I go, I actually don't get offended by it. I actually feel sad for the people because I feel like they're missing out some of the best parts of filming a movie,
Yeah.
which is this little world happens. And like, I don't ever want to leave that world.
And I'm not saying like you don't get tired and stuff like that, but I can count many nights that we filmed something and it didn't work, and it's like 4:00 in the morning, and Oak will be like, we could go down there, work another hour, and get this scene. And I'm like, where's my energy drink? And I'll just chug that bitch and get down there and work, because this only happens. Even let's just say we get to do this for the rest of our lives. That's not that many movies. Like.
Yeah, that is something I remember. I did an interview for a magazine in Switzerland, and they asked me a question, and I said, well, look, I was like, you don't get to make that many movies. I was like, let's take some of the most famous directors in the world. How many movies do they actually make? How many movies has Rodriguez made? It's not like he made 110 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And same with actors.
Quentin Tarantino. I mean, it's not something that comes around all the time.
Right.
And so I always try to tell the people, enjoy it. Enjoy this as much as you can, because, I mean, look how long it took us to get back here to do this till we were ready to do it again. And I'm loving it. In one sense, I don't want it to end.
Well, and I would also say to the people that aren't ate up by this and don't want to be here every single moment that they can be here, you are in the wrong business, man. You will never make it, because this is the hardest freaking thing to break into in the first place. You are competing with a million other people that want to do this. And if you're not just in love with this, then I would suggest finding something else to do, because it'll be impossible.
Unless you thought it'd just be cool and be like,
yeah,
hey,
I mean, unless you just
could I be a waiter
fun,
in the scene? And you're like, sure.
Yeah.
But
if you're like, this is what I want to do, and you're asking to leave after a few hours on set, then.
Because I will say this. I say New York and LA are tops in this respect. I have never been to play, and this includes Chicago. I'm sorry. I lived in Chicago for like 5 years. I've never been to places where I met so many people that were night and day, like they lived it, night and day, and they would work 2 waitress jobs, and other waiters would cover if there was a chance at a scene, and I just go, man, you don't realize until you're around 150 people that literally are breathing, trying to break into this business on whatever level, night and day. And it made me anyway go, oh, okay.
I better work my ass off.
I can't take the weekend off. This is 7 days a week, 24/7.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. Okay.
I'll be talking in no time. Oh, is this about the rum? Yeah, Lori, when you get here, we're filming some thank you videos. We'll give you some rum first. Oh, that's funny.
So again, for the people that aren't here and the people that are watching this, we are here for the Kickstarter campaign. We're trying to raise the funds so that we can try and get this done a little faster in post-production. It's not a risk on this movie on, are we trying to get the funds to film it? We have filmed it. We are doing pickup scenes. We're just needing some funds to help Nicole with her music, and also get the the faster hard drive to help us move a little bit faster. So that's what we're here for. We got some really cool perks, and
we do have cool perks. I'll just show some of them real quick. Bam.
Yeah, and also we're going to be live every night till the end of the campaign. I would say the last 10 days of the campaign will start going on probably 5 hours, and then 8 hours, and then as time goes down, probably 24 hours back and forth between Nicole and I. We got a lot more content, a lot more contests. We do have one contest that's still going on.
Yes, if you find the Linda Hamilton photograph on our Twitter accounts and you send us a screenshot, Tank will give a special shout out to the winners of this.
Right.
So she'll give a video shout out in character in the tunnels.
A la Jeremy. Those are very popular and very exciting.
But I also
everybody seems to love them, especially on Twitter.
I also became aware that the tank perk is a rather high perk, and there's only one of them. So I was like, how could we give Tank shout outs? So we're doing a challenge right now. So if you find that and you send it, we're going to give you a shout out via video in the tunnels as Tank.
And then in the last 10 days, we're going to add a couple of other perks. But one of the perks for sure is going to be, and we haven't decided on the financial number of it, but it's to where Tank actually says your name or somebody's name, a loved one,
of your choice,
your son or your daughter
in the movie.
Yeah, and it won't be like this time of name, like I got blah, blah, blah. Like she will clearly say the person's name because there's a reason in the movie for her to be talking about somebody. So it'll be actually a really lovely little moment.
Oh,
I think anyway. And
Tank being lovely, I don't know. She's kind of a bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
If you were a good actor, you could figure out how to deliver the lines to where you don't seem soft, but you're still Tank.
I'm a good actor.
Yeah.
I keep telling myself that. So we will have just to recap what we talked about in the beginning. We will have a new GIF coming out tomorrow. I was hoping today, but I've been having some issues finishing it, so I'll get it done by tomorrow.
Let me tell you what the issues are. My poor baby over there works her ass off on it, and I walk in and be like, "Oh my God, you got to change this, this, and this," and she's like, "Oh my God."
No, it's fine. It's fine. But it's close. It's close now.
We're actually working.
There's there's only a couple little tweaks here and there. So hopefully, either it'll be done late tonight, but it'll be posted tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. The challenge winner from last week that is getting a GIF made of them, and that's going to be on the playing cards, is Johnny Veins. We loved his mask and his big old knife and everything. So awesome. The runner-up was Therese Olsen. Thought her makeup and everything was super creative. So we're excited for those two. She'll be getting sent something special.
Yes.
And yeah, we had the new teaser for the behind the scenes video that's been posted to backers. I don't know if I should show that again.
No, you don't need to show it again. But
it's up on the backers section.
Everybody would share that, because I have noticed that people get very intrigued with what is happening, and so they just become a backer
because they want to see the backers section.
And then also in the last 10 days. Feel free to email Nicole. Don't email me, because as the actors will all say, I don't check my phone ever. She even had to tell me that Jason sent a really sweet message, and I was like, oh, but I never check it. What we are going to start doing is allowing people to come on that are here to ask questions. We'll do some Q&As. We'll have some discussions. I'll answer questions from anybody, be it actors, be it fans.
We'll bring you in on the video.
That'll start to happen when we're doing the, just the long feeds.
And we are going to do the
I think Nicole said she was going to sing a song.
No, that's not going to happen. But we are going to do the live watch party. I think we've kind of decided that we're going to do it twice. So we're going to do one that we just watch the whole thing and no questions, no stopping.
Right.
And then maybe at the end answer questions. And then another day we'll do it where it's a Q&A watch party where we will stop in the movie and answer while it's going on.
Yes.
So we'll probably end up doing that to the public to help gain momentum to the campaign. I am currently seeking out a platform to do that on. And once I get that settled, then I'll announce when that's going to be.
Yeah, we'll figure out the best night for everybody and do that. And lastly, hey, to all the hashtag horror fam, hashtag horror family, and then the hashtag support horror and spread the horror on Twitter. Man, you guys, I really appreciate it. That's been about 3,000 new fans collectively that have started writing about us that didn't know about us at all. And I know that there are 3 or 4 articles coming out because of them. We greatly appreciate it. Means the world to us. We are independent, and without that type of support, we struggle more than we struggle. So it made us both feel good today when we were getting messages from all of you all. And I appreciate you introducing our film and Nicole and I to that whole family. So I really do appreciate it a lot.
Thank you guys.
All right, man.
All right. Well, I think that's it for tonight. We'll probably be live again tomorrow, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. And I'm excited to share that new GIF. So keep it.
Oh, wait a minute. When are we? We're filming. Oh no, not tomorrow. Oh, we'll be live filming a lot this week.
Well, I've asked you the schedule about 40 times, and I don't have an answer yet, so I can't tell the people.
So I gotta go. All right, man. Love you guys.
We'll see you
Thanks
guys
for all the
later.
support.
Thanks for watching. Bye.